Rolling Stone put together a list of a bunch of things that millennials have never heard of. And I guess it must be okay because I had to weed out a lot of stuff that even I had never heard of on this list. But I've got it down to like 27 or so that are worth talking about. Millennials refers to, I guess technically I am in the millennial generation. I'm on the extremely old end of it. I don't identify as a millennial. I identify more as a Gen Xer.
Sure.
Personally, but I'm like right on the line. But like as a rule, if you're born after 1981, you're a millennial as a rule of thumb.
Sure.
But again, like I said, as someone who was born in 1983, I do identify more as a Gen Xer. So we may need to explain some of these to the kids out there.
Sure. We're going to start as soon as I get back to the top of the page. Let's see. Things they've never heard of. Too legit to quit.
Okay, see, Kat knows it better than I do. I know it as a song. I didn't even know that hand move.
Oh, really?
I knew there was one, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Can you do it again for the camera?
Too legit to quit.
Okay, that's pretty good. I know it's a Hammer song, and I remember it from like the early 90s, but like it wasn't one that I was a huge fan of.
Sure. The music video was huge. It had James Brown and James Belushi and all kinds of professional athletes. I mean, it was a huge video.
I'm having a hard time finding it in our system. I know it's in here, but okay, let's go forward to the next one.
The next one, Kush balls.
Kush balls, yeah. They were made of like rubber bands.
Little rubberized colored strings.
Oh yeah, they weren't rubber bands,
they were shaggy little rubber strand balls.
If someone had no idea, or imagine a blind person, how would you a blind millennial? How would you describe a Kush ball?
Tiny strings of colorful elastic
that were fun to squeeze.
That you could hold on to one tiny strand and bounce the whole thing up and down
if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I remember the way it made my hand smell when you were done playing with it.
Oh, I don't remember how it smelled.
Oh, mine smelled. It always smelled like rubber so strongly. I remember that vividly.
How about
everyone had those things.
Yeah.
Remember those?
I do. Do you remember feeling the good vibrations?
Oh, of course.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Oh yeah, to them, Marky Mark is probably just an actor.
Yeah,
didn't have a
Mark
funky
Wahlberg.
Bunch. Yeah, if you even call him that, he gets pissed at you.
Yeah, don't call him Marky Mark.
Yeah.
He will always be Marky Mark. He will be shirtless with his Calvin Klein underwear hanging out, or whatever brand tighty whities he was wearing.
Not just shirtless; it was pantsless too. He was.
But no, his pants rode about 2 inches lower than his briefs or his boxers or whatever. So
That's
you got
true.
the underwear
but
band.
Wasn't he in like Calvin Klein ads or underwear ads?
I think so. Yeah.
So.
But in 1991, that song was everywhere. Let's see. Hunger Strike. Temple of the Dog.
It's a great song that kids probably don't even know about.
It's 25. This album is 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I pre-ordered a 4-disc deluxe 25th anniversary edition yesterday. It releases September 30th.
Aren't you giving it away?
I already told him.
Okay.
I'm terrible at keeping secrets. I ordered it for Sean.
I thought it was a gift for Sean.
Yeah, it is. If you don't know what Temple of the Dog is, it was basically one of like the greatest first super groups. It had the frontman from a band called Mother Love Bone,
which went on to be Pearl Jam.
Right. So you had, but that was before anybody had ever really heard of
Oh yeah,
Eddie Vedder.
It was Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, but it was before anybody had really ever heard of him. But basically, it was a Pearl Jam Soundgarden kind of mashup.
Super group before they were famous.
Yeah,
right.
It's got Chris Cornell from Soundgarden. I mean, it is like everything that you loved about the band you loved in the 90s, the big ones.
Before they hit.
Smushed together in one kind of super group, and you had Temple of the Dog with Hunger Strike. They had another big album off of this album as well.
Another big song off the album, yeah.
Yeah, what did I say? Another big album off the album?
Yeah.
Another big song off the album. But yeah, it's 25 years old.
Yep.
Crazy.
That's right.
How about Ross Perot?
Yeah, they've never heard of Ross Perot.
Can you imagine?
He was, I believe he was an independent. And I believe in American history, no independent candidate has ever had as much success in election as Ross Perot.
He was a billionaire from Texas. He ran as an independent candidate. He took almost 19% of the vote, which was just unheard of at that point in time.
And this would have been like the early mid 90s. I want to say the 2022 election. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
was-
crazy.
that
That would
was
never
when-
happen now.
No, that was when Clinton beat
Bush.
and by 43% of the vote, because Perot had this almost 19%. So the majority vote
I
went
think
to Clinton.
the perception was that Perot may have chipped away at Bush's part of the election. Like more like a vote for Perot was kind of like a vote away from George Bush.
Sure.
Kind of thing.
Other things that millennials, I don't know where the midpoint is on this either, so hopefully you have an idea.
I'll tell you.
Okay, good. Something else millennials may not remember, in 1993, there was the B girl. And if you don't know who the B girl is, we cannot be friends. I'm just saying.
Okay, I know who the B girl is, so we can be friends. I'll pull up the song. Do you want to explain who she is?
She was the little girl in the bee dance, the dance bee costume thing like you would wear for tap dance. She had tap shoes on, and she was kind of she was a little on the chunky side, and she looked kind of homely, and she was kind of sad because the other bees didn't like her. And then she finds herself dancing in a field full of other bees that are all quirky
like her.
and different and weird, and she fits in, and it's amazing. And it was part of the music video for Blind Melon's No Rain,
Which is still
rest in peace, Shannon Hoon.
Yeah, one of the best 90s songs.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right.
Other things millennials won't know anything about: getting film developed.
Isn't that crazy? Like that was just part of the photo process for us growing up.
Yeah.
And like you had to take pictures and you did not know what they looked like until you saw them. And I was just notorious for anything I got developed, it just looked like a bunch of blurry lights.
Right. Yeah.
I could never take a good picture.
Well, and then you had to keep your negatives in case, you incidentally ever wanted to make another copy of the picture one day.
Right. Yeah. It was a whole process that you millennials never had to even worry about.
If you're a millennial, you probably don't remember or don't know who David Faustino is.
David Faustino is, correct me if I'm wrong, Bud Bundy.
Bud Bundy from Married with Children. Absolutely.
I'd like to think they know who or know what Married with Children is, but I don't know for sure. I mean, it went off the air in the late 90s.
They probably wouldn't know that either.
There's a
but
good
I can tell
chance.
you, did you know he stopped growing at 5'3"?
Yeah, I know he was small.
Then he's the only member that didn't go on to other big projects, like Ed O'Neill from Married with Children. He's in Modern Family. So if you're a Modern Family fan, you know who Ed O'Neill is.
Katie
He
Seagal
was the dad in Married with Children.
Katie Seagal was the mom. She did
Sons of Anarchy.
right.
And then there was Christina Applegate.
She's had a solid Hollywood career.
Sure. She did the Anchorman movies.
Yeah.
But David Faustino, he had some straight to DVD disasters, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
Well, sorry about that, bud.
Oh, you know what else millennials don't know about?
What's that?
Not the mama.
Dinosaurs. From TGIF,
Yep.
Friday nights on ABC, which they also probably don't know about unless they've heard about it from their parents. Dinosaurs was a really weird show.
Followed the Sinclair family.
The
Sinclair dinosaur family.
They were a family of dinosaurs.
Working class.
And they were like Jim Henson puppet Muppet things. And they lived a sitcom life. And I will tell you, Brittany and I watched the show as kids. And then we tried watching it like maybe 2 years ago on Netflix, I guess it was. It does not hold up.
No.
We couldn't even make it through the first step. It was so bad.
So aside from the not the mama line, the baby also often said, "I'm the baby. Gotta love me."
I had the soundtrack to that. Like they made like a whole album of weird dinosaur songs. I had it. I loved it as a kid. Now it's unwatchable. Some of the stuff I liked as a kid has aged well. Some of the stuff not so much. And dinosaurs is in that latter camp.
Here you go. Answering machines.
WTF is an answering machine.
In the world of text message and email, answering machines are obsolete.
Yes.
No more micro cassettes. No more need to make sure that you flipped your tape over, or that you set the thing to record in the first place, or that you got your recording just right. Mm-hmm. Hi, this is Kat. Sorry, I can't take your call right now. I'm off playing Pokemon.
Oh, anytime mom...
but you have to record it 6 times because, Mom, not right now. I'm trying to record my message on my answering machine.
In our household, Mom always was picky about the way the answering machine sounded, but would never do it herself. So even still, anytime when I go home, I have to do her office answering machine.
Oh.
And then I always inevitably don't do it to her liking, and I have to go through it 30 times. But Mom will never do it herself, just as that everyone else has to do it.
I really liked when you would have the family answering machine.
Oh yeah, we had those too.
Where, you hear everybody in unison say, hi, we're the Hirschbuehls, all at one time. And then you hear, it's Nancy, it's Rob, it's whatever your insert brother, sister.
Jessica.
Yeah, dog's name is here. And then we can't take your call right now.